Whether you stumbled upon this video and you're recommended, or if you already subscribed to me, what's up? This is going to be a little bit different than the type of videos I usually make, but I felt like it was necessary for me to do a formal introduction about who I am, what this channel is, and what I want it to become. My name is Juan Jaiman. I'm a freelance photographer, videographer, and occasionally a YouTuber. I film weddings, I do commercial video, I shoot portraits, I do commercial photos, and a whole host of street photography and other personal work. I also run a small company called Cisco Productions that serves local businesses in my area with commercial photo and video content for their websites, social medias, and overall brand presence online. I've also been making YouTube videos for the lesser part of about 8 years, but to understand how I got here and why, I need to give you more context. My journey with YouTube started years ago when I was in high school, making videos of me playing popular video games at the time, like Battlefield or PUBG.
It's your main man, Juan Legend, coming at y'all with another PUBG video today.
I never really took making videos very seriously and only posted a few times every year over the coming years, and eventually ended up taking a huge break from making YouTube videos because I felt like they were going nowhere. And that was probably the first time I ever felt imposter syndrome. I became more focused on things that most teenagers would be into, like working my first job or hanging out with my friends. I never really felt like I had time to make videos anymore, and honestly, I felt pretty embarrassed about the videos that I had already made previously. I sat back and I watched channels who started around the same time I did make many more and many better videos than me. I even dealt with some of my peers making fun of my videos and the content that I made, which further caused me to not want to make content for quite a long time. Fast forward a few years, I graduate high school and I go on to pursue a career in the US Air Force, where I then fell back in love with playing video games and making videos. I began making highlight videos of me playing Call of Duty in my dorm room at the time. After posting consistently for a few months, I began to fall into the same pitfalls mentally as I did before. After realizing how much time and effort it would take to make a usable, good video, all while being self-conscious about the video coming out any semblance of good in the first place, and then to feel like I had to hide it from people because I was too self-conscious and embarrassed of the content I had made. This again caused me to stop making videos for some time, and I began partying and distracting myself in other ways, and creating content took a back seat for a few years, up until about July of 2023, where everything changed for me. I got that spark back and I began falling back in love with the creative process, and this time completely by accident. Well, what changed? I bought my first camera. The Sony a6500 was the first camera I ever bought, and after weeks of research to figure out a camera that I could buy to mess around and make YouTube videos like this, I eventually landed on this small APS-C size sensor camera from 2016. Mostly also because it was all I could afford at the time, and it also came with an 18-105 zoom lens, which I thought was a pretty good starter package for me to be able to begin making content again. So I got on a train to London and ended up buying the camera from some dude on Facebook Marketplace, and then I went straight home to go into the YouTube rabbit hole to figure out how I could even use this thing, how to even use a camera in the first place. And that was when I got my first taste of the photography, videography, and filmmaking space on YouTube. Eventually, I started making some crude videos of myself around the house for whatever project I was trying to complete at the time, and then I realized, whoa, I have to make a thumbnail. I thought to myself, well, I guess I better learn how this thing even works. I binged some more photography channels, got finished taking the photo that I needed for that project, some time went on, and that's when I think it happened. I took my camera out for the first time for fun and took an amazing photo. Something I never thought I was going to be able to capture, and something that had nothing to do with making videos or anything else that I wanted to do. After seeing what I was able to capture based on my creativity and a little bit of research, I was hooked. From then on, I became obsessed, watching every video online about how to take better photos and how to take better videos. I made some more content, posted some shorts, and eventually made the realization that there was a lot more that goes into making good content than I originally realized. My second realization was that the equipment that was necessary for me to make this great content was very, very expensive. Then I had an idea. Why don't I try to take photos of people for money? Nothing crazy, but just maybe some friends or family snap a few pictures for a few bucks. So that way I could sort of recoup the funds for my investment in the camera, and that way I wouldn't feel so bad about buying, a few more lenses or some lights or whatever I needed at the time. I started doing shoots for free. First my wife, then a couple of friends, and posting the results on social media. Eventually, I got my first client, and that to me was the first proof that my creativity and skill could make me money. Fast forward about a year and some change, I had done a few more shoots, made a little bit of cash, and even made myself a little website, so things were going pretty good at this point. I was even able to upgrade my camera to the Sony a6700, which is what I'm filming on right now. With 4K 120 FPS 10-bit 422 video, it was a huge upgrade for me at the time and caused my work quality to go up quite a bit. And this is exactly where I had the idea to change my business model from taking photos of people to doing video and photo content commercially for local businesses. So rewind a little bit and let's talk about YouTube again. At this point in my life, I had made less than 20 videos, and none of which had ever even reached close to 1,000 views. My solution to this problem was maybe that I was making the wrong type of videos, so I ended up switching niches to making videos reviewing popular tech products, and eventually, I had a hit. This ended up being my review of the PS5 Slim in December of 2023. Now, I posted this video not thinking very much of it, going to sleep and waking up the next day to over 1,000 views, and it was growing steadily. Now, today, that video sits at almost 30,000 views, and while that might not sound like a lot to other people, it still stands as one of my biggest accomplishments. Now back to where we are now, I made a few more videos, worked with a brand or two, and none of the content that I made after that even came close to that video in terms of success. Again, I find myself shying away from making YouTube videos, feeling like maybe no one is watching because I'm just not good at making them. So then I took another break from making videos so I could focus more on just honing the craft, getting better at photography, videography, and visual storytelling as a whole. I have clearly again switched niches and have began making videos about things that I'm currently interested in, like cameras, photography, videography, video editing, photo editing, and content creation as a whole. I even changed the channel name from Cisco to Juan Jaiman to make my online presence make a little bit more sense and to separate my channel from my business. Going forward, I want this channel to serve as a personal diary of the journey of me finding myself as a creator. And I want this channel to serve as my own personal space online to express myself artistically. I want to be able to share this information with someone who's just one step or a few steps behind me. And I'm working every single day on my creative business and honing my skills so I can share that information with you. I want to get this out of the way now. I don't claim to be or don't really think I am an expert in any of these fields, and honestly, as time goes on, I begin to learn how much farther I have to go before I'm happy with my own work, if that ever even really happens. But my only hope is that anyone who comes to my channel will find a good attitude, something that lifts them up, and at least learn something from me. To wrap things up, I don't plan on this channel becoming the biggest in its space. I just plan on not stopping making YouTube videos for the foreseeable future and continuing to play the long game with this channel and seeing where things take me, or at least that's how I feel right now. If any of this was interesting to you, or if you enjoyed my story, I appreciate you for sticking around until the end. If you come back to my channel at some point, I hope you find whatever it is you're looking for. All right, my name is Juan Jaiman. Peace.